Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Howard and I travel the world teaching cybersecurity and hacking. Today I'm in Osaka for the 5th time and I'm finally getting to make the video I've always wanted to make. Here are the 7 things I would do if I came to Osaka. Number 1. So you're probably going to arrive at Namba Station. But which Namba Station? There are multiple Namba stations. The main Namba Station also includes the trains coming from the airport and also the regional train stations. So it's an overground railway. Now Namba Station is huge and there's lots of stores and shops inside. You're going to have to leave if you want to go anywhere. Now if you arrive on the subway, you're going to arrive to Namba Metro Station. You're going to have to make your way out of the station. If you want to go straight to the Dotonbori, you can take exit number 14, and that will get you pretty close. However, I would recommend you take one of the lower number exits, 1 through 7. They're going to take you out near Nankai Station, and you will then travel overground to the Dotonbori. If you come out at one of the lower numbered exits of the Namba Metro Station, you're going to take a walk through the covered shopping area. It's called the Ibishu Bashi Suji. Here you're going to find tons of tourist shops, candy, chocolate, Kit Kats. You're going to have electronics, you're going to have pharmaceuticals, all the kinds of things that tourists would like. Also in the shopping area there are a couple of sneaker stores like ABC Mart. Here you can buy tons of different brands of sneakers and they're cheaper than in the UK or United States. There's also a much wider selection. Don't forget to bring your passport because you get 10% off tax-free shopping. Number 2, now as you walk through the Ibishu Bashi Suji, you will come to Dotonbori, and that's where I'm standing now, and behind me you can see the very famous Glikoman, and also the canal that runs east and west. So as well as the Glikoman, what else are you going to see? Well, there's boats going up and down the canal, so you can take a boat ride. There's a very large Don Quixote store, which is very good for tax-free shopping. However, they have those all over Japan, so you don't have to go to the one in Osaka, and to be honest, it's very crowded. There is, however, a Ferris wheel you can go on in the Don Quixote store. I've never done it. Now, once you get to the Dotonbori, there's tons of stands selling the 2 most famous foods in Osaka. Takoyaki, which are the octopus balls covered in a batter, and they're fried. I don't really care for them. A lot of people seem to like them. If you're going to have takoyaki, my advice is not to have it right here on the Dotonbori, but walk a little distance. The stores that are a little bit further away from the tourist hotspots are under a little bit less pressure to sell. They take a little bit more time. The food's a little bit cheaper, and honestly, I think they cook them a little bit better. So the other famous food in Osaka is okonomiyaki. It's a pancake with cabbage, with a batter, with seafood or pork, and it's finished with bonito flakes on the top. That is one of my favorite foods here in Osaka, and that I would highly recommend. Again, maybe not have it right here at the bridge in Dotonbori. Walk a couple of streets and you'll find somewhere a little bit cheaper, maybe somewhere where you can sit down and it's going to be cooked with a little bit more care. Number 3. Now, while you're in this area, you may want to visit the very famous Yasaka Jinja Shrine. It's only about a 10-minute walk from Namba Station, and I would recommend that you do that while you're in the area. It's a really nice, famous little shrine, but maybe do it first thing in the morning to avoid the crowds. It opens about 6 a.m. What's really cool about this shrine is that there's other, more modern buildings built right beside it. It's one of the stories of Japanese architecture. Their zoning laws are very lax, so you'll find brand new buildings beside ancient shrines, and you'll find skyscrapers built around ancient shrines as well. Number 4. The Shinsekai area is very famous for its neon lights. There's tons of restaurants and places to have drinks. Again, that's only about a 15-minute walk from where I am here in Namba and Dotonbori. It's a little bit to the west of here. Here you're going to find the Zuten Kaku Tower, which is another famous landmark in Osaka. Personally, I've never been up it, but it looks cool at night when it's all lit up. It's also famous for its kushi katsu. These are the famous sticks of deep fried anything covered in batter. And there's tons of restaurants selling it here. There's also tons of sushi restaurants, and you can also get okonomiyaki there as well, and also the usual collection of touristy stores as well. Number 5. Next, you should try Kuromon Market. Kuromon Market is the fish market in Osaka, and that's where you can go to look at all the fantastic fresh fish and also eat it. Here's where you're going to want to go if you want to have crab legs or sea urchin, or believe it or not, puffer fish. You can still get it there. Now, Kuromon Market is actually a morning/afternoon stop, so it kind of starts closing down around 4 in the evening. So that's something you want to do earlier in the day, maybe around lunchtime. I've had quite a few good meals there. I've had some crab, some other fish. It's a pretty nice place to hang out in the afternoon. Number 6. Now, what trip to Osaka would be complete without going to Osaka Castle? Now, Osaka Castle is somewhere I would recommend you go in the morning. You can beat the crowds and you can beat the heat. It's quite large, it has very extensive grounds. It's free to go and just have a quick look around. However, there are paid tours for the castle itself, for some of the gardens. You can tour the ramparts and indeed go inside the castle as well. I've never gone on any of the paid tours. I've gone and I've hung out for maybe a couple of hours, and I've always had an awesome time. There's a building there with a bunch of coffee shops and restaurants. The restaurants look like they'd be really good fun. You can book a table on the rooftop if you want, but there's also more informal dining choices, coffee shops, and there's a bunch of tourist shops with souvenirs in there as well. Osaka Castle is a must-do. And number 7, what is the last thing on my list of things you have to do if you come to Osaka? Well, it's Teamlabs Osaka. Forget Teamlabs Tokyo. I've been to Teamlabs Tokyo and it was a nightmare. Talk about overstimulation. Listen, after 45 minutes in that place, I would have paid $100 to get out quicker. There was tons of people walking around trying to desperately find the exit. It is not a relaxing place to be. I've done it once, I'm glad I did it, but I'd never go back. Now, Osaka Teamlabs is a different matter. It's outdoors, it opens when the sun comes down around 6 o'clock, and it's fantastic. It's such a relaxing place. There's bunches of displays in the gardens, there's light shows, there's balloons that are lit up, there's reflections on the water and the sculptures, there's gentle lights on the trees. It's just a really cool place to go. You can walk around for a couple of hours and you will have a fantastic time. So I would highly recommend Teamlabs Osaka. So if you're coming to Japan, I would definitely give yourself 2 or 3 days to explore Osaka. Honestly, I prefer Osaka to Tokyo. So hopefully you found this guide useful. If you'd like to see more of my adventures around Japan and Southeast Asia, please follow me. Also, if you're interested in learning about cybersecurity, follow me for that as well, because that's going to be the bulk of my content. I'm Andrew Howard. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for joining me.